So in this slide, we are presentation, we are going to look at the next pillars of construction of Israel, and then what can India learn from Israel's nationalism, that we are going to conclude. So education system we are going to see now, comprehensive education system. There are 6 principles of education curriculum they follow. So the first is go to the roots, means discovering the Jewish people's relationships to Israel through texts that is sacred and secular, the promise of the land, that is the Bible, covenant, appreciating Israel's spiritual inheritance, Israel in prayer, then and now. So basically, the promotion of Israel's biblical texts, prayers, and spiritual inheritance. That is the first principle, which is in the curriculum. Then second is the rebirth, that is renewing the promise, that is Zionism, revival of Hebrew language, then Israel Declaration of Independence. And so basically, they teach in the school the history of Israel. Basically, Jews' history is taught. So that is the renewing the promise. Then third is the new land, that is learning about Israel's borders. So making the maps, Israeli maps. Then what do I want to know about the land and the landscape of Israel? This is how they develop the nationalism among next generations. So a challenging neighborhood, as we said earlier, that Israel is all surrounded by, except the western side, rest of the land is surrounded by Arab countries. So there is always the neighborhood is challenging. So the Adama and Adama means Adama is the land, and water, nature, returning to the soil, go to the desert. So they basically try to inculcate the cultural and geographical roots into the students. Then how the desert life used to be there and how now the desert life could be. And they also talk about New Jerusalem, Tel Aviv. So it's not just about the ancient land, but about the new modern cities. And you can see a very beautiful blend of ancientness and modernization in Jerusalem as well as Tel Aviv. In most of the cities, you can see that. Then the fourth one is the contemporary society, that is kibbutz and all. So in gathering from around the world, the many faces. So how they have developed the, the Jewish culture, the following of the Jewish calendar, then Jewish holidays, Shabbat, etc. Then Jewish Israeli sites and the sounds. So preservation of the Jewish historical places. Then how the art and music of Israel, its people, how they introduce all these things to students through education. And even the literature, Jewish poets, various Jewish poets and literary people, they introduce them. Then what are the Jewish democratic inspirations and aspirations and perceptions are there? So all these they try to inculcate, but in the light of Jewishness. So that is the most important thing. You can see the thread is the common, that is developing the Jewishness. And they also teach about the issues of Arabs and Jews. So two people and one land, two peoples, one land, and Jewish religion, Jewish state, issues and challenges. Then how the democracy could be persuaded. And the sixth one is My Israel. That is Israel and my identity as a Jewish or Israeli identity. So this is how they their principles, six principles are there in the educational curriculum, and you can see you can actually see that in their implementation. So the literacy information, it is up to 2014 data. So total 97.8% are literate, and in that male are 97.8% and female are 95.8%. Then general structure of education, school education is that primary is from 1st to 6th, that is 6 years to 12 years age. Then secondary is from 7th to 9th, that is 12 years to 14 years. High school is 10th to 12th, that is 14th to 19th. And everything is in Hebrew medium. Then army education is mandatory after school education and before higher education, that is before 19 years. And 21 years is the age limit for upper limit for army education. Then general structure of higher education is that first degree is the bachelor's degree, second degree is master's, and third degree is the professional course degree or a PhD. And everything is in Hebrew medium. And attainment data is second most highly educated country, Israel is, and school certificate holders are 85%, post-secondary diploma holders are 49%, and tertiary degree holders are 51%. Now, this is the structure of the subjects. So, the compulsory subjects to all are Hebrew language, English language, history, Hebrew Bible, literature. In literature, it is literature of international philosophers, and that is all in Hebrew. Constitutional studies. So this is also in Hebrew. Only English language is studied in English. Rest of the thing is in Hebrew. Now, mathematics, except religious schools. Now, there are, in the next slide, we are going to see what kind of types of schools are there. So in that, you will see what is religious school. So mathematics is taught only except in all the schools except religious schools. Then science is taught, that is physics, chemistry, biology, technology, computers, robotics, etc. And till 9th it is compulsory, and then it is optional, and except religious school. So in religious school, science and mathematics is avoided, and more focus is given on religious education. Geography, that is, it is compulsory till 9th, and then it is optional. So you can see that all these subjects, which are very important, the history is compulsory throughout. Geography is compulsory till 9th, even science. So these are the building blocks of even a nationalistic personality. So it's very important actually. Sports and arts, so they are compulsory till 9th because it's important for physical and physical development as well as emotional development. But there are no exams for arts, and further arts can be an optional subject. There are two exams, major exams. So in grade 5th or 6th, there is a school exam which is called Maizav, and Bagrut is certificate. Bagrut certificate is the Israeli matriculate exam. And to pass this, students need to take 2 extra optional subjects along with compulsory subjects during 10th and 12th. So all higher education is also in Hebrew medium. Before first degree and second degree, everybody has to take English exam. So going to next level, that is first degree or second degree, they have to always take English exam. So, and after they pass it up to certain level marks, then only they are transferred to the next level, next degree. So everybody, though they are learnt in Hebrew medium, they make sure that the person goes higher level, that person will, they make sure that that person will know English very well as a language. Upon satisfactory performance, no need to learn English further. Otherwise, need to learn English again and again. Except if anybody is doing first and second degree in English. Rest of the people, they have to take the English exam. Now, the school education. So there are these different types of schools. So these are the public schools and compulsory education. There are two types, Jewish and Arabic schools. So Jewish schools are all in Hebrew medium and Arabic schools are in Arabic medium. And in Jewish, among Jewish, there are four types of schools. Orthodox religious schools, where they are called Haredi. And these Haredi schools, that is Orthodox religious schools, they are not co-education. The girls and boys are separated. And these types of schools are 8 to 9% among all Israeli schools. Then second type of school is standard or religious or state religious, which is called Mamalchiti. And there is also no co-education. And these types of schools are 15 to 20%. Then there are non-religious or state secular, which has co-ed. Then special schools are there, or democratic schools, which are mostly co-ed schools. So among four types of Jewish schools, there are two are non-co-ed and two are co-ed. Then Arabic schools are three types of schools: Muslim, Christian, and Druze. So in the Jewish schools, they teach Jewish history. In Arabic schools, they teach Arabic history. So for Muslims, there is a Christian, for Muslims, they teach Quran, and for Christians, they teach Christian Bible. And in Jewish schools, they teach Jewish Bible since grade 1. There are also international schools for people who are coming from other countries and like Democrats and all, diplomats. So for them, these private English medium schools are there, which are international schools, and all co-ed schools are there. So in this small land, they're trying to give a comprehensive education system to people. They are offering comprehensive education system. So the Orthodox religious schools, they are mostly focus in a Hebrew Bible and Jewish texts. Post 6th grade, no math, science, technology, and English. No army education. Standard religious schools focus on Hebrew Bible as well as math, science, but less focus on English. Army education mandatory to boys. For girls, either army education or social service. Then non-religious schools, they focus on religious education, very less, but Hebrew Bible is compulsory up to 12th. And focus on advanced mathematics, science, technology, robotics, etc. Army education is compulsory here. Then there are special schools. In that they are focused on particular objectives. And they give, before starting the school, they have to give the presentation to the education ministry about that particular objective, and then ministry takes follow-up by time to time of that special school. For instance, in some schools, special schools, there are no formal exams. Some schools have more focus on arts, etc. So generally, they have to follow 70% from the main curriculum, and 30% curriculum can be based on their objective, that is specifically for arts in this particular instance. Then both Jewish and Arabic schools teach Jewish and international history. But Arabic schools also teach Islamic history. So there is a difference. Then Arabic schools do not teach Jewish Bible, but they teach Quran in Muslims and Druze schools, and Christian Bible in Christian schools. Teachers and students have more freedom in secular schools. Some secular schools have active participation of parents, right from deciding pedagogy to who would be the principal. And students get free memberships to public libraries to encourage reading culture. So all these are very important features of schools. Now, generally, 6 hours of school, high school students who take advanced courses, and 10 hours of school for school who take children who take uh, more courses. Uh, that is, one school hour for is 45 minutes and class size is 35 to 40 minutes. So advanced courses means, for example, robotics or computer science. So they need to dedicate more time for that. So for them, it is 8 hours school. Municipal education department takes care of the textbooks, and in some parts they reuse the textbooks. Means whatever used textbooks are there, next year, before starting the next year, they take it back and rebind them and distribute among the students, new students. Free education, but fees charged for some cultural activities like visit to museums, etc. Now, use of LMS and advanced technological solutions are also there. So most of the schools are high tech. You can see there is an interesting difference. You can see there are three types of schools pictures I have shown. The first one, you see the uppermost picture. It is from the Arabic school, and probably it is a Muslim Arabic school, where you can see all the students are girl students, and they are all they have covered their heads. So it's a Muslim Arabic school. Then the middle picture is of a religious school, or the second type of school, where you can see it is also not co-ed. All the students are boy students, and they have worn their typical Jewish kind of style of yarmulke, the black one, and the hairstyle also is quite Orthodox Jewish. And the third picture is of very secular school, where you can see the structure, you can see the sitting structure also of the classroom. The sitting structure in both the other schools is teacher dominated, like teacher is teaching and students are listening. That kind of setup is there. But here you see, in the secular schools, the setup is also very secular. It's the students are sitting around the table, and teacher is using smart board, and you can see the student is active, student is interacting and asking questions. So these are the differences. These differences are the cultural differences among communities in Jewish as well as Arabs. They are getting reflected here. A central committee is responsible for preparing curriculum, and it is changed after every 10 years. Then many different like peer assessment and constructivism, project-based learning, experiential learning. All these advanced techniques are used. Open learning, active learning, anthropological learning. All such advanced techniques are used for teaching. Then activities that promote innovative thinking, creativity, risk-taking leadership, then 21st century skills. All these are taught through activities. Or you can say not taught, but they are promoted through activities. Then Israeli classrooms are very noisy and have indiscipline. So especially you can see the other two types of schools. They are very indisciplined and very difficult to teach Israeli students, because the observation by Mr. Gruber on PISA score analysis, the PISA score analysis of Israeli students, Jewish students, is very less. So Mr. Gruber, who is a who is from Central Agency PISA, he actually said that the the classrooms are very noisy, and so students are not very obedient, and that is why they don't actually score well in mathematics and science. But on the contrary, you can see they are actually, Israel is really advanced in startups. We are going to see the startup culture of Israel. So army education, let us go to the army education. All over the world, Israeli Defense Forces is number one. Then how students come into army education or IDF? After Bagrut, army education is compulsory to Jewish and Druze boys for 3 years and girls for 2 years. It is optional for Arabic students. 2 months physical training is compulsory, and 1 year physical training with arms is compulsory for students who are going to join as soldiers. Training and education of advanced technologies and intelligence is provided in the army education. So you can see that these children, these students become more disciplined and knowledgeable in modern advanced technologies. Then army curriculum is decided by IDF, and it is secret. They don't disclose it. After testing of physical ability and considering scores of scholastic and aptitude tests, their cadre is decided, that is cadre which is Navy, Army or Air Force. And there is a Talpiot program, which is a special program. It is elite IDF training program for students who have showed excellence in STEM and IDF STEM education, that is science, technology, engineering and mathematics. And IDF choose them and train them for further postings in IDF. So this goes on for total 9 years after the army education. And it includes the university education as well, and army education plus intelligence training. So this all, after completing all these things, after 9 years of rigorous training, further these cadets are chosen for Mossad. So Mossad is, we know, all know that Mossad is the #1 intelligence agency in the world. And now you can see how people are chosen for Mossad. Means after such a rigorous training, after that also they choose. It is not a very smooth process. So how the quality of people in Mossad is selected, that's very remarkable. And this serious army education turns the Israeli students around and makes them mentally and physically fit. Israelis are always ready for disaster management. That is a very key quality I saw among Israelis. And most of the Israelis who have undergone such kind of army training, they remain fit for long. I mean, I have seen lots of old people, their retirement age is 65. So the world-renowned Israeli universities are, there are total 7 universities, 6 universities mainly, and interdisciplinary center Harzelia is recent. So first university we have seen Technion, which is in Haifa, 1912 is the foundation. Then Hebrew University Jerusalem, 1918. Weizmann Institute, 1934. Then Bar Ilan University, 1955. Tel Aviv University, 1956. University of Haifa, 1963. Ben Gurion University in Negev, 1969. And Interdisciplinary Center Harzelia in 1994. So all of them, they use Hebrew medium of instructions. Foreign students are also allowed, but they need to learn Hebrew quickly. Scholarships by Israeli government and universities are available to study in Israeli universities. Now, here I would like to mention that there are bilateral fellowships for doing PhD as well as postdoctoral research. These bilateral fellowships are between Israel and India and Israel and China. So, Israeli startup culture. So you can see that there is a highly educated workforce. Then invention is the mother of all the needs, and you can make out that the uncertainty is their life, and that is why they have to keep and they have to survive in the desert, and that is why they are equipped with inventions. So they used instability for as a strength. They developed risk-taking attitude. They do not follow rules, and it is a very Jewish quality. It is called huzbah. They do not follow straightforward methods. So always think out of the box. Just today, I saw one interesting video. Like everywhere we are seeing now. In India also, the 3D printing is common. Like I am hearing this 3D printing since 2014, and now from Israel, I saw one video that the Israeli scientist was showing that we have fed fats to the 3D printer, and they're printing the meat. So meat sticks are being printed, and those are the food. I mean, you can use them as a food provider. So it's very interesting how they used the knowledge of 3D printing to production of artificial food. So it's really very interesting. Business is in their blood. So now you can see further they will sell it printing 3D printing of the printed food to the world. They get training of advanced technology in the army education. Army education develops qualities like curiosity, taking initiatives, and leadership qualities. So then Israeli universities try to bring innovative ideas by their students into practice. Their research doesn't sit just in the libraries submitted. No, the ideas are practically, basically the work is practically, the ideas are practical, and they make sure that they will be converted into practice. And they develop their capacity for latest technology, and they encourage to develop research labs in each department. So every research lab tries to open at least one startup. So you can see how the connection is. And the universities give funding for the same. Also, rich Jewish industrialists from Canada, America, they invest in Israeli startups. So how they are using their Jewish connections from Western world, that is also very interesting. Jewish professors in American and Canadian universities do collaborations with the professors in Israeli universities. So these are very important insights. Inclusion of course, innovation and entrepreneurship at school level is there. In 2005, while giving a talk at Weizmann Institute of Sciences, Google's Eric Schmid talked about his observations regarding correlation between Israeli startups and personality of an Israeli. You can see all the left side boxes. They are the personality traits of an Israeli person, an educated Israeli person. And now you can see that all these qualities, they are needed for startups. So you can see there is a correlation between the startups, and so now we are going to see how many startups are there. So the number of specific scientific and technical journal articles, but this is the data up till 2015. They have compared Israel with Germany and America, because Germany is the most innovative and prosperous country in the Europe, and America is the highest superpower. But you can see the scientific and technical journals are published are more in Israel than by Germany and US. Then research excellence, full-time equivalent researchers per million population. Up to 2012, this data is, you can see the Israeli number is far more than German and America. The engineers per 10,000 is Israeli number of engineers per 10,000 is more. It is 135 as compared to America and Germany. So 40% export of high-tech products is done in the Israel, and 60% exported services are technology-based services. So you can see how they are developing their students and how they are how they have developed Israel as a modern and developed country, high-tech country. At present, 6,400 startups are there and 362 multinational companies are active in Israel. So this is the data, and you can see how the startups are risen from 17 to 19 just in 2 years. Meanwhile, let us see what is the condition of education in Arab land. Although Israel is considered as highly educated country, Israeli Arab lag behind in higher education. So there are some reasons. There are socio-economic reasons. 50% live below poverty line and big family, so need to start early, earning early, and because of the uneducatedness and all, they marry early, so the families are reproduced. I mean, the more family members are produced, more, and because of the poverty and less education, crime rate is more. No favorable conditions for education. Now, cultural reasons. Apart from cities like Haifa, elsewhere, Arabs and Jews live separated. So 90% Arab people live among Arabs only. And the receptivity of Arab children about other cultures and religion becomes less due to lack of first-hand information. And this is also another reason why Arabs lag behind, Israeli Arabs lag behind. Then educational reason, lack of good quality teachers in Arabic medium, giving priority to only specific courses, no English and Hebrew learning after grade 6 keeps them away from white-collared jobs in Israel. Israeli government is trying their best to bring them in the mainstream, and their efforts are shown in the results in growth in the percentage of Israeli Arab students who hold second degree. And as compared to Israeli Arab Muslims, educational condition of Arab Christians and Druze students is much better. Now, one can make out that why the condition is majorly it is bad because of the socio-economic and cultural reasons. Now, education system in the Arab territory. 3 types of schools are there. Boys schools, which are 37%, girls schools are 35%, and co-ed schools are 29%. Then primary grade basic education is compulsory, preparatory, elementary, and on UNWRA schools. They are run by UN. Then second grade school, general education and some vocational courses, 11th and 12th. Tertiary grade is 11th. 11 universities are there, 10 private and 1 public. 11 technical colleges are there, 4 Palestine Authority, 2 UNRWA, and that is run by UN, and 4 public and 1 private. And 19 community colleges are there, 1 Palestine Authority, 9 public colleges, and 2 UN based run by UN, and 7 private. Now, terrorist organizations like Hamas and Hezbollah have lots of influence in that region, and they use that land to conduct terror activities in Israel. This has bad effect on Palestine's educational conditions, and UNESCO has noted the observation that once this conflict will be reduced, the educational condition in Palestine would be better. Now let us have a look at modern first world Israel. You can see it's a very good blend of modern as well as ancient cultures, and it's really very pleasant to be in Israel and to see the modern first world Israel. You can see the girls are there in the army. There is a street graffiti, and they give among graffiti they give place for their ancient literary people. This is Spinoza stairs in Israel, and this graffiti is in Masada Street in Israel. And this picture of modern cities of Tel Aviv. It's a very high-tech city, and the below there is a city of Jerusalem in the evening in the light of sunset. And you can see in Jerusalem also there is a very good blend of modern as well as old city of Jerusalem. It's very beautiful. So let us come to the Indo-Israel relationship. It's very friendly. Initially, it was under the pressure of Muslim influence, so that up to 1992, no Indian Prime Minister visited Israel and recognized Israel as a separate. They were afraid, basically. But when first time Atal Bihari Vajpayee became Prime Minister, that time he initiated the process, and he was the first who started the Indo-Israel relationship. And now the friendship has it has reached the level. You can see it. They are having collaborations, cooperations in army, defense forces, Israeli defense forces, actually intelligence, Mossad. They give training our army people, our intelligence people. They keep going into Israel, and Israeli defense forces also come and train them for intelligence. And also there are lots of, you can see, India buys many equipments, war equipments from Israel. And there is a business, you can see the graph, and it is increasing by year by year. And